Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome to this recorded workshop on how to write a journal paper. My name is Nasser Al-Harrasi, and this workshop organized by Department Research Committee. In this workshop, we are going to discuss and cover many topics. We are going to start with the importance of writing a journal paper. Then we are going to move to the strategies and tips that the researchers has to follow in selecting a suitable journal, prepare to writing the paper, and then we are going to discuss the common writing pitfalls. Then we are going to move to the submitting the paper and then responding to reviewers. And finally, we are going to discuss the ethics in publishing. Let us start with the importance of writing a journal papers. Publishing in academic journal is an essential part of advancing your career as an academic. You as an academic, you are not only responsible about teaching and learning, you are also responsible about producing research. There is like expectations from the academic that they are going to have some knowledge contribution. So the first reasons that you need, or the first motivations to do publication, is to build your reputations as an expert in your area. If you are specialized in human resource management, you have to prove that through publishing a research. If you are specialized in accounting, you have to do some publication which is going to prove that you are expert in that specializations. The second motivation, or the second significance, which is related to the advances your field. The research, it is not only to build your reputations, but also to expand your knowledge and experience in the field that you are specializing in. As long as you are having some knowledge contribution, because the research with the expectations from any research that there will be some additional knowledge contribution. So the time that you are doing research, you are expanding your knowledge in the specializations. Also, it is increased the visibility. Instead of writing your notes, writing your findings and keep it in your desk, and no one will be benefit from it, the journals will help you to make your findings reached by many companies and many organizations, which they may apply or implement your findings. Also, the one of the most significance, the only things which we needed to enhance or improve our research skills is to receive feedback. The journals actually providing feedback, providing comments from peer review. It is blind reviewers. They don't know you as a person. They know your words. They know your whatever you have written. So they will provide you feedback, which might help you in enhancing and improving your research skills. And finally, meet the academic requirement. One of the essential requirements for academic promotion is doing research, is doing publications. Like, as we are aware about it, we are having many assistant professors, associate professors, and finally professors. So to move from assistant professors to associate professors, the most important things that you need to do publications. Here in Oman, we are having some conditions, like by the Ministry of Higher Education's minimum seven papers must be published in a journal indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. This is like a criteria which most of the higher educations here in Oman use it to do the academic promotion. So to move from assistant professor to associate professors, you have to get some publications. So as you see here, like, it is an evidence. The time that you join it academia, you need to publish. Don't rely on teaching and learning. It is not going to add anything in your career. Now, let us move to the selecting a journal. Most of the faculty, most of the academic, they are doing mistakes by selecting a journal which they are having speed publications. Within 1 week or 2 weeks, their paper will get published. And they are wasting their time, they are wasting their effort, believe me, because no one will cite that papers. See, it is not a matter of how many papers you are publishing. It is a matter what is the impact, what is the effect of your papers. Like as professional researchers, they are not cited from this journal. So if you publish your works, which you already spent 3 months, 4 months to complete that research paper, and then you are publishing it in a very poor journal, this is like a disappointed, because no one, you will not find any citations, no one will use the findings that you got it from it. So the most important things, you need to select a suitable paper which is indexed in Scopus or Web of Science. I will show you how to search and find out a journal, a suitable journal. But the most criteria which you need to use it is the first things which is related to the relevance. You need to select a journal which is related to your topic. If your topic talking about human resource management, that means you need to select the journals which they are publishing a topic related to human resource management. If your specialization marketing, then you have to select a journal which they are specialized in marketing. Don't publish in any journal which they are not related to your topic. And by the way, like the indexed journal, immediately they will reject your papers the time that it is out not relevant to the journal. Then you have to see the impact factor. The impact factor which is related to the citations, like for example, if I'm going to publish a research paper this last year, 2022, how many citation expected will my paper will get? Like it is going to get 5, 6, 7 citation per year. So impact factor, it is very important. As long as you are having high impact factors, that means your research paper will get more citations. The most rapid and fast tracking journals, which they are publishing immediately within, you will get the acceptance within 3 or 1 week. Please understand immediately that no one will cite your work. It's just only a matter to satisfy your supervisor or satisfy your manager that you have done the publications. But in reality, no one will get benefits from it. Then you have to check the audience, whether it is a general readers or they are specialized in a specific. Like sometimes you will find a journal which they are specialized in business administrations. Under business administrations, you will find many areas, many specializations, HRM, marketing, accounting, supply chain management, a lot of specialization under business, many administrations, even in engineering. So any mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, immediately they are going to publish that paper. So which readers you are looking for? Are you looking for engineers? Are you looking for the public readers? Are you looking for experts, which they are just only like the medical journals, which they are publishing something related to the medicine, related to the treatment? So these people, the readers, the audience are doctors. Then you have to check the scope. As I told you before regarding the relevance, some journals, they are just publishing any papers as long as it is related to the business, they will publish it, or related to the management, they will publish it. Some journal, they will say, no, we are not accepting all the papers. We are just only accepting the paper which is related to organization behavior. See, even like human resource management, we are having many factors, many variables, but they are ignoring or rejecting all other variables and just only focusing on organization behavior or employee productivity, whatever. So they are just only focusing, or they are very narrow. They are focusing on a specific topic, which they are going to publish on it. And finally, which is related to the journal repetitions, whether it is like the repetitions, most of the people are aware about it or still like it is a new journal and they don't have a target or they don't have a base or a big number of readers. See, most of the journals which is published but through like Emerald, Springer, most of these journals which they are doing or publishing through these companies, these two companies, they are mostly having more repetitions. Then, okay, now you have selected a journal, you understand the scope, you understand the topic of that journals. Now you need to prepare a writing. First of all, organize your thoughts. The most important things, organize your thoughts. What you would like to achieve, which is based on the objectives. Now, I would like to discover the unemployment issue in Oman. For example, this is the things which I would like to find the solutions, or I would like to contribute. For examples, I would like to investigate the relationship between the economic growth and unemployment. I would like to investigate or find out the relationship, the causality relationship between two variables. So the most important, before going to start anything, think about the main idea which you would like to investigate it or discuss it. Then don't rely only on the information that you are having in your mind. This is the big mistake that most of the researchers do it. They are thinking or they thought that they are aware about organization behavior. They know everything. They know every concept and organization behavior. And that is wrong. See, the knowledge, it is similar to the technology. They are updating it every day. Every day we are finding a new knowledge. Every day we are finding a new technology. So the most important part, the time that you identify the thoughts, identify the idea which you would like to research on it, you have to review the literature and focus on the latest literatures. Don't bring literatures from more than 10 years back. Focus on the literatures which is the like before 10 years. Why you need to read the literatures? The literature will give you the updated one. Maybe the idea which you are having already, it is investigated by other researchers and they got the finding, they found the solution for it. So useless, you are wasting your time, you will not add. The knowledge contribution from your side will be zero. Try to get something which it is not added yet. The knowledge contributions, the main things which we are getting from the writing a paper, it is the knowledge contribution. And we are going to review the literature to find out the gap. So our research paper will fulfill that gap. And after reviewing the literature, believe me, whatever the idea that you are having in the beginning, it will be modified, it will change, there will be minor changes or major changes in your idea. Why? Because you have updated yourself. Like, for example, the relationship between unemployment and economic growth. Already you will find a lot of literature review, and most of the countries, there is like there is evidence that there is a relationship. So you will think about in that while you are reading the literatures, you will find out something related to the future and the limitations of their studies. From the limitations of their studies, you will generate a new questions, you will generate a new idea, and then you will start analyzing the data, collecting and analyzing the data for preparing for writing. Now, in general, see, every journal, they are having some different formatting and structures. Writing the paper in general, or the common format, the common structures, starting with the abstract, introduction, methods, results, discussions, and conclusions. It is a matter of 7,000 to 8,000 words, including the reference sections. In abstract, it is just only you are summarizing the aim, the research methodology, the findings, and the recommendations that you are wishing to do it. In the introductions, you will highlight the main idea of your research, the problem statement, and what is the research objective. In methods, the way that you have collected the data, the way of your research, the way that you have analyzed the data, the result you are going to present, the analysis that you have, the test, the statistical test, or even it is a qualitative analysis. Then you will start the discussions and supporting your findings with the previous studies. It is similar to the previous studies or there is some differences? And finally, the conclusions. In general, most of the journal, they are accepting this format as a submissions or as an initial stage. When you are going to submit your papers, they will accept, but later on, if your papers get accepted, they will ask you to modify or adjust your paper according to the journal format. Now, common writing pitfalls. The first things, which is the language, which I would like to highlight. There is something called proofreading. Most of us, and even me, I have done this mistake before. We thought that we are good in English and the people, they can understand what we are trying to say. But the reality, even the one which their English is the mother tongue, still they need the proofreading. So whatever the things that you believe on yourself, even if you are getting in IELTS 9 out of 9, still you need proofreading. Proofreading, it is not a matter of grammar and spelling. Proofreading, it is a matter of consistency and the flow of ideas of your research paper. Or it is related to the index citation, it is related to the references, it is related to the formatting, structuring of your paper. So before submitting your paper, and even the journals themselves, they are like encouraging, motivating you to submit your papers to third party for proofreading, because we are using some vague language and ambiguity, and we need help to do that, or to correct our paper. Be conscious and focus on what you would like to achieve. Be conscious on the things that you would like. Don't manipulate it. Can we say manipulated? Which is just 1 minute. Sorry for that. Sorry. Okay. Now, as we said, the value language, be conscious, use active voice, use transitional phrases, all these things related to the proofreading. If the English is not your mother tongue, I highly recommend you to submit your paper to third party for proofreading, because the proofreading, they will take care about all these things. By be conscious, which is related to the using simple language, the word and the professional, the concepts that you are using, it is all of them related to the proofreading. Even the active voice, transitional, the flow of the idea, the consistency between one paragraph and another paragraph, coherence of your research paper, they will review it for you. And this is unethical. Don't expect this is unethical behavior. No, it is ethical behaviors, and most of the journals encourage, motivate the researchers to go for proof reading. And just one more thing which I would like to highlight, it related to that. According to the statistical report, most of the journals which is indexed in, most of the journals are indexed in Scopus and Web of Science, they are rejecting the research paper because of these things, because of the proofreading. Most of the researchers, they are not submit or they are not proofreading their papers. So they will find that it is very poor, it is weakly presented, and the quality of communications of that paper is not, it's not meeting the standard of the journal. So they are going to reject it immediately. So to increase your chance that your paper is going to for peer review, you have to go through proofreading. Then you have to submit your papers to the journals. After selecting a suitable paper, suitable journals, you have to submit the papers. Now, as I said in the beginning, the fast track journals, they will give you the acceptance within 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. And this is totally like very low quality journals, which they are doing this. Most of the journals in Scopus and Web of Science, they are taking between 2 to 3 months. Till this is just only for the peer review, whether they are going to accept or reject, they will not assume. But for publication, it might extend it to 1 year. So you have to be patient. You work it on that research paper for 3, 4, 5, and sometimes 6 months. Be patient, wait for another 1 year, try with many journals, and believe me, the impact, the effect of your research and the effect of your findings will be more useful for the life, for the field, for the area that you are specialized in. So first of all, you have selected, go to the author's guidelines. Every journals, they are having journal author's guidelines. That author guidelines will tell you like the font size, the space, the formatting, the structures, the reference time that the journal prefer. All these things you will find it in every journal. They are having their own as authors guideline. One more thing which I would like to highlight it, which is like some journals which they are using Emirate Productions or Emirate Press for publications. These journals, they are following the same guideline or the same formatting. Springer's journals also, they are using the same formatting. So either you are like focusing to change it, focusing on publishing on one of the journals which is using the Springers, you will find that they are using the same format, the same structures, and just only you are moving from one journal to another journal till you will find the suitable one. Then you have to submit your paper, then wait for the review. And as I told you, it might take 3 months, the peer review. Sometimes it is going to take 1 day because it is called disk rejections. As I told you, if you are not going to proofreading or your paper, it is are not relevant or your paper outside the scope of the journal, immediately they are going to reject it. So don't be disappointed. Immediately try with another journal, but you have to be careful with the scope of that journal. If you're like your papers passing the initial checking, it is going to for peer review, and peer review, as I told you, it will take 2 to 3 months. Then you will get a response either to reject your paper, major revision, or minor revisions. Major revisions, like there is can I say like major change in your papers. There is a lot of problems, a lot of issues related to research methodology, related for in discussion, the result may be related to the literature review. So the reviewers will tell you exactly the specific comments which is related to the things need you to correct it. They might be accepted if one of the reviewer rejected and one of the other reviewers, for example, accepted with major changes. They are going to ask you to modify your research paper and submit it again. Maybe the revisions, believe me, the revisions you will submit it several times. Some journals, they will ask you to submit several times. You will modify, then submit it, then the reviewer will check it again. You will have some comments. then you have to modify, do the changes, submit it again, then they will submit it to the reviewers, the journal will submit it to the reviewers, maybe they will have another comments, then you have to modify. So this is the reason I told you that it might take 1 year. And finally, they are going to take the final decisions. I'm telling you, you have to be patient in publications. I understand that you would like to have more publications. You would like to strengthen your research profile, but it doesn't mean that you are going to publish in this journal, very low quality journal, which totally no effect. No one is going to read your research finding. I'm not going to trust your findings. Maybe there is a mistakes, there is manipulated data. But in journals indexed in Scopus or Web of Science, they are not going to say that the manipulated data will not be there. It might be, but the percentage or the rate of that error, it will be very less comparing to fast track journals. Here, as I told you, I have already discussed it, responding to the reviewers. You have to read the feedback carefully. You have to respond to their feedback one by one. Sometimes it is not necessary they are going to ask you for a modification. Sometimes they will ask you for clarifications. They did not understand something and they would like to get some clarifications about their doubts. And believe me, be open to the feedback. This is a blend review. They don't know you as a person, so don't personalize their feedback. Take it as an area because they are going to tell you your weaknesses. Sometimes we are like human and we are doing errors. So sometimes there is weaknesses. We are having weaknesses in research methodology. Sometimes we are having weaknesses in statistical analysis, and like we are in business specialized, all of us specialized in business. So of course, there will be some weaknesses that we are having in statistics side because we are not coming from the statistical background. So 100% there will be some mistakes. Sometimes we are going to have mistake in the literature review. Maybe we lost or we missed to cover some topics. Be open to the feedback and just put in your consideration that this feedback is there to improve, develop my research papers, to publish something which I will be proud of it in the future. The last things which I would like to discuss it, which is related to the ethics. The first things which, or the academic, as an academic, we are aware about it, the plagiarisms, which is related to the copying or taking something from other researchers and presenting without referencing that things. And now we are having the AI model language, the AI artificial intelligence like GPT chat. But alhamdulillah, in Turnitin, we already having that tools which they are going to check if this is AI or it is copied from other sources. The second things which is related to the authorship, and you have to be honest with yourself. You cannot just put your name and you did not do anything on that project. And this is a common mistakes happen in most of the higher educations. You will find many people, they are putting their name without participating or working on that research. And this is totally unethical behaviors. And some that like some researchers or some faculty, what they are doing, they are taking the student project, for examples, and they are publishing that project. But the problems that they are putting as a supervisor, they are putting their name as a first author, but in reality, they are not the first author. The student are the first author, and the supervisor will be the last author because you are just only supervising, guiding them. You are not the first author. Then we are having the informed consent, which you have to provide that consent to the journal. Then we are having the data fabrications or data manipulated. For example, they are distributing questionnaire, asking or repeating copy paste data. I'm going to ask my friend to fill the questionnaire just only to get the numbers or the sample, the target sample size. This is fabrications, and it is going to harm your specialization. It's going to harm the area that you are working on it. So please avoid it. And even like you are saying something, the knowledge that you are producing, it is might affect other companies. Put in your consideration that it is going to harm the people in the industry. It's going to harm the companies in the industry, because that data, it's not reality. Like, for example, employee satisfactions. If you are going to fabricate or manipulate it with the data and asking some satisfied people to answer the questionnaire or to answer that survey, you will get like high level of satisfactions. But in reality, maybe there are a lot of people which they are dissatisfied. But you, because you are publishing that in a journal indexed in Scopus and Web of Science, all the world will believe that in Oman all the employees are satisfied. This is the reason that we are seeing data fabrications. We are feeling it like, and it happens during the COVID-19. We got many vaccines, and the data fabrication was a lot. And this is not from me, from the researchers. They have highlighted that, like, we gave this, or we tested this with 100 patients, and we found that 70 patients, they did not get a side effect, for examples. And in reality, they did not do it for 100. Maybe they had done it for 40 or 30. And finally, conflict of interest, which is related to the peer review here. Like, the author should, the peer reviewers should do not know the author of the paper. So the comments or the feedback will be totally professional and related to the research paper. Now, let me show you how to find out the relevance and suitable journal. You have to go here. Here we are having the Scopus, and here we are having the Web of Science. Both of them actually approved and accredited and used by many all the higher education institutions in Oman. So for examples, here you have many criteria like the subject. If you know the journal name immediate and you would like to check whether it is indexed in Scopus or not. Publisher, for example, Springer, Emerald, I told you before. And here also the ISSN. If you know the ISSN, you can just only put it here and you will see whether it is indexed in Scopus or not. So let us start with the subject area. For examples, here we are specialized. You will find many categories. We are specialized in business. See, here you will find the business management. You will find accounting, business management, general business management, industrial relations, management information system. You will find a lot here. For example, human resource management and organization behavior. Just click on apply. Then here you will find the result, 252 journals indexed in Scopus, but you have to make sure that they are still indexed in Scopus, because sometimes you will find a journal which is discontinued. Like, let me show you here. All these journals are indexed in Scopus. So for example, if I will go here, they are showing NA. That means it is not applicable. Like, for example, here, research and practice in human resource management. I would like to see this journal. See, I will find coverage discontinued in Scopus. So that means it is the same things, which is low quality. They are like not following the standard, not following the instructions of Scopus. So they are discontinued in Scopus. They just only covering from 2011 to 2012, just only for 1 year. And in that paper, for example, you will not be able to see anything related to the impact factors. Now, whatever written here and here not applicable, that means this journal is not good to publish. So you have to choose a journal which is having some impact factors. Cite score here. Cite score which is related to the how many times that your papers will be cited if you are going to publish in this journal. Also here we are having the percentage. The percentage here 22%. That means it is Q4. I'm going to show you, instead of memorizing the percentage, I'm going to go show you how to find out. In Scopus, we are having 4 quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. The best journals, you will find it in Q1. Then they are like the top, and your paper will be cited a lot if you are going to publish in a journal located in Q1. In Q2, it is followed like less than Q1, but also it is very strong journals and they are very strict in their review of your papers. Then we are having Q3 and finally Q4. I highly not recommend anyone to publish in Q4 because your papers, it will not be cited a lot. You have to focus on the first 3 quarters, Q1, Q2, and Q3. If you would like to see, like, for example, share these journals, I would like to see in which quarter is it. So this is the ISN. It is covering from 2005 to 2022. Now, why they are saying 2022, I'm going to tell you very clearly. Some journals like this, they are getting reviewed by Scopus every year. So now they are covering only till 2022. By end of 2023, this journal will be reviewed by Scopus Index. If they are keep following the instructions, if they are going to have some cite score, they will change it to 2023. So whatever the papers published in 2023, it will get indexed in Scopus. But if they not approve it, if they not pass it, the review by end of the year, that means it is not going to be indexed. So I would like to check this one. This is the ISN. I'm going to copy it. I will go to this one, which is SGR. Here you can find the more details about the journals. Click on it. And you will find all the details. See, International Journal of Work Organizations and Emotions. Now I would like to see the H index 16. But I would like to see here, it is in Q4. In 2018, it was Q3, sorry, in 2019. In 2014, it was Q2, but they are moving down. And then recently in 2022, they are in Q4. Now, if you would like to see the citations, total citation and the self-cite, see, in 2005, they are getting cited. If I'm going to publish on this paper, is my paper is going to see it is 51 in 2021. 51 citations only. Here they are going to show you the citation per documents, like how many citations, even they are not able to reach a 1, which indicate very low citation rate. So if I'm going to publish on this OCA, it is going to be indexed in Scopus, but the possibility or the probability of having citations, it will be very less comparing to the other journals. Let us see as another examples, which is having high cite score, like this journal, for examples, annual review, the cite score, which is 2014 till present. That means, see here, present. They are not going for annual review. It is already approved by Scopus. So just only we are going to copy the and see in which you are, in which quarter they are. This is annual review. This is the journal name. See here, the 58, the H index, and see here, it is all of them in Q1 in 2021. In organizational behavior, in the social psychology, in Q1. See, like citation peer documents. If you are going to publish in this journal, see how many? 25, almost 25, 21. Here, 2 years. In the last 2 years, like how many citations they are getting, but it is more than 10. The peer documents. So it is like a Q1, which is a very good journals, and it is highly recommended to publish on Q1 or Q2. Also, we are having another website, which is Web of Science. This is going to help you. And this is like another tools which they are having, which is match your manuscripts. Here you will enter your title, then you will enter your abstract, then click on find journals. This tools actually is going to recommend, suggest some journal which they are matching your title and your abstract, because in the abstract you will identify the research objectives and the findings. So they will try, based on their database, try to suggest or recommend some journals which is matching your topics. So here are the things which is related to the Scopus and Web of Science. Believe me, don't publish in any journal not indexed in Scopus, whatever the time that it's going to take it. Be patient and publish in one of the journals indexed in Web of Science and Scopus. One more thing which I would like, or I think it will be enough for here. So for any clarification, support, please do not hesitate to contact one of the department research committee, Dr. Nida, me, Barcody, whatever the doubt, the support related to the technical, related to the support, department support, please do not hesitate. Thank you very much, and hopefully that this workshop will help you to find out and writing and doing more publications. Thank you very much.